Hello, dear students. Welcome back to the yet another session of financial management. Now, in the previous classes, we were discussing about Walters model. Today, first we'll discuss one problem on Walters model. Then we'll move towards the Gordon's model. Now, the problem is like this: Maruti Udyog Limited achieved an EPS earning per share of rupees 25 for the year 2004-5. The return on investment was 21%, while the cost of capital was 7.5%. If the dividend payout ratio is 8%, calculate the market price of the equity shares of the company. What will be the impact on the share price if the payout ratio is increased to 20%? Now, EPS is given rupees 25. EPS is nothing but earning per share. The return on investment is also given 21%. Cost of capital is also given 7.5%. That means return on investment is greater than the cost of capital. That means here the nature of the firm is that of growth firm. The dividend payout ratio is given 8%. They have also asked us to calculate the market price when the payout ratio is increased to 20%. That means at two different payout ratios, we have to calculate the market price. But here it is quite evident and it is clear that whenever the payout ratio is low or zero for the growth firm, in that situation, the market price would be very high. So without solving on the basis of the Walters model's assumptions, we can write a conclusion here itself that the market price when the dividend payout ratio is 20% will be low, and in the case of zero dividend payout ratio, in that situation it would be high, market price would be high. And in the case of 8% payout ratio, when we compare 8% with the 20%, the market price under 8% payout ratio would be high when we compare it to the payout ratio of 20%. So let us see with the solution whether the assumption of Walters model holds good or not. Okay, since it is the growth firm, the payout ratio matters a lot. Okay, fine. Now let us proceed with the solution. Now here EPS, dividend per share, that we have to calculate, because the formula is to calculate the market price per share is P is equal to D plus R into E minus D divided by K whole divided by K. Now R is rate of return, E is EPS, K is cost of capital, D is not known, that we have to calculate. Okay. Now R rate of return, so that is given 21%, K cost of capital, that is 7.5%, and D, so that is a dividend. So dividend can be easily calculated by multiplying EPS with the dividend payout ratio. EPS is 25, dividend payout ratio is 8%. Okay. So if we calculate, we'll be getting rupees 2. And the rest of the information we know. Cost of capital is 7.5%. So all the information we know, if we do the calculations, we'll be getting rupees 885.33, and this would be the market price at the 8% dividend payout ratio. Now, when the payout ratio increases, see here, the dividend per share will differ. EPS is 25, the payout ratio is 20%. So dividend per share would be rupees 5. Then market value of share is calculated with the same old formula. Now other things remain same except the payout ratio. Okay, dividend payout ratio or the dividend. So except the dividend, other things remain same. Now here, if we do all the calculations, we'll be getting rupees 813.33. So now here it is clear that whenever the payout ratio, dividend payout ratio for a growth firm increases, the market price will decreases. So this is about the conclusion of this problem. Now let us move further towards the Gordon's model. Now let us quickly understand the assumptions of Gordon's model. Now first assumption is that here only retained earning and equity shares are used in the capital structure of the company. Capital structure, so usually capital structure consists of debt and equity. So it's a mixture of debt and equity. So equity, under equity capital, firm may have equity shares, okay, preference shares. So like that, firm may have. But under debt part, firm may have loans, okay, secured loans, unsecured loans, or maybe debentures. So such kind of long-term funds may be there in the debt part. But what Gordon has assumed, made assumption here is that in the capital structure of the company, only retained earnings. Retained earnings are those earnings, they are the part of profit, okay, but they, instead of giving it to the shareholders, or instead of uh, distribute distributing, so firm usually used to keep itself, okay, or it may hold itself. So they are the part of the profits only. So here the first assumption holds that the capital structure of the company will include only equity capital and retained earnings, only equity shares and retained earnings. Then the second assumption says that the rate of return of the company is constant from year to year. That means the rate of return, so return on investment, we say, okay, that will be remain same from every year, for every year. First year, if it gets a 10% or 15% return, same trend will follow for the rest of its life. Second year would be the same rate of return firm will get. Third year also the rate of return will be the same, and until its end of its life, it will be getting the same rate of return. So this is the second assumption where Gordon made. Then third one is that the cost of capital also remains constant from year to year. That means from one year to another, so there won't be any changes in the cost of capital. So cost of capital would be constant throughout its life, okay, and even though in between some years, if it changes also, it will be uh, same for the uh, rest of its years, okay. The next, the fourth assumption Gordon made was that the taxes do not exist on dividend or on capital gains. That means the dividend or the capital gains are tax free, so there not be any tax on dividend or on capital gains. Then the fifth assumption Gordon made was the firm has a perpetual life. Perpetual life in the sense infinite life. So okay. So these are all about the assumptions of the Gordon. Now let us have a glance over the formula of Gordon's model. Okay. Now here P is equal to E into 1 minus B, where P is equal to market price of share. X dividend means excluding dividend. Okay. Now E means EPS. 1 minus B means dividend payout ratio. Okay. Dividend payout ratio. So see here, payout ratio must be multiplied with the EPS, and somewhat we'll get here a dividend per share only we'll get, okay, EPS into you just observe the solutions of Walter's model. So there, whenever the problem is silent about the per share dividend, we used to calculate by multiplying EPS with the payout ratio. So same thing we are doing here. It is nothing but just calculating dividend per share. EPS, E means EPS, 1 minus B means dividend payout ratio. And if we multiply, we'll be getting dividend per share. divided by KE means KE is nothing but cost of equity here, and minus BR, B into R. Actually, BR in the sense B into R. Here B is retention ratio and R is rate of return. Okay, and growth is nothing but the product of retention ratio and rate of return. Retention ratio into rate of return. If we multiply, whatever amount or whatever thing we'll get, so that will be the growth. Okay, so this is about the explanation of the Gordon's model's formula. Now let us consider one problem. Now the problem is like this: ABC Company Limited had an EPS of rupees 15, cost of capital at 16%, dividend payout ratio at 40%, and a return on investment at 20%. Calculate the market price of its shares. Now EPS is given, so formula is, E into 1 minus B divided by cost of equity minus B into R. B is retention ratio and R is return on investment. Now E is known. Okay, E is nothing but the earning per share. E is earning per share. Kindly make a correction here. Okay, while writing, see in the problem EPS of rupees 15 they have given. Okay, you should write 12 because they have taken here 12. Okay, and 1 minus B means here dividend payout ratio. In the problem they have given dividend payout ratio at 40%. So it is better to make corrections in the problem itself. Okay, instead of 15 you take it 12 because solution is right, only problem contains some errors. Okay, EPS of rupees 12, not 15, make it 12. So this is $12. Okay, instead of 15 you make it 12. So EPS is 12, cost of capital 16%, dividend payout ratio 40%, and return on investment is 20%. Okay, fine. Now here E is earning per share. So here you are writing or taking it as 12, and 1 minus B, that is dividend payout ratio. It is here 40%, 0.40, and divided by KE is cost of equity or cost of capital. So here they have given, okay, cost of capital. Then return on investment is 20%, that means 0.20 or 0.2, and B is retention ratio. So out of 100, suppose if you are giving out 40%, see 40 is the dividend payout ratio. So retention ratio must be 60%. So 0.60 is the retention ratio. If you do all these calculations, you will be getting rupees 150. So this is the market price of share as per Gordon's model. Now let us consider another problem for solution. Okay, problem is like this. XYZ Company Limited achieved an EPS of rupees 20 for the year 2005-6. Its cost of equity was 15% and rate of return was 18%. The dividend payout ratio was 20%. Calculate market price of the share using Gordon's model. What will be the share price if the payout ratio was increased to 50%? Okay, fine. Now here we have to calculate the market price under two circumstances. That is, one is given rate of payout ratio and another one is increased rate of payout ratio. So under both the situations, we have to calculate the problem. Now here formula, E into 1 minus B divided by KE minus B into R. Now E means EPS, earning per share, 1 minus B means payout ratio, KE is cost of capital, and B means retention ratio, and R is return on investment. Now let us identify one by one. So identification is necessary in order to solve the problem. Now E is given EPS of rupees 20. Okay, so this is the E. 1 minus B is payout ratio. See here, for the first case, payout ratio is given 20%. And when there is a 20% payout ratio, the B, that is retention ratio, will be 80%. And R is nothing but the return on investment. So that is 18% given. And the cost of capital, that is KE, that is also given at the rate of 15%. So all the necessary information we have now. Let us go for the discussion of solution. See here, for 20% payout ratio, formula is there. So as we discussed, so E is earning per share 20 and 1 minus B, that means dividend payout ratio 0.20 divided by KE is nothing but cost of equity, 15% they have given, minus B is retention ratio. Whenever the 20%, okay, 20 is the dividend payout ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 20 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ನೀವು ಕೊಟ್ರೆ 100ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದು ಎಷ್ಟು 80 rupees ಉಳಿತದೆ. So 80 is the retention ratio. Okay, so this is what 0.8 means. 80% is the retention ratio, and the return on investment is 18% given in the problem, 0.18. So we'll be getting rupees 666.67 as the market price. The next same problem when there is a 50% payout ratio, so 20 to 50. Again, the other things remain same except this dividend payout ratio and retention ratio. Okay, except these two, other things remain same. The cost of equity remains same, the return on investment remains same, EPS is also remains same. Only changes we have to incorporate is in the case of retention as well as payout ratio. So when there is 50% payout ratio, that means suppose if you are paying out 50%, how much percentage you are going to retain? 50% you are going to retain, right? So here, so that we have to incorporate here 20 into dividend payout ratio, that is 50%, and again BR that we have to calculate growth. Okay, 18% return into the retention ratio. So the product must be deducted from the cost of capital, and if we divide these things from the total EPS into dividend payout or dividend, so we will be getting rupees 166.67 rupees as a market price. Now it is clear and evident that whenever there is a increase in payout ratio, the market price of the firm will decrease. So here there is relevance, we can conclude that there is relevance of dividend over the market price. So, and this is the core of the both Walters model as well as the Gordon's model. Now let us consider another problem for discussion. Okay, the problem is like this. The problem is like this. A company had an EPS of rupees 25. Its rate of return was 15%, while the cost of equity was 14%. Using Gordon's dividend model, calculate the market price of the equity share of the company if the dividend payout ratio is 25%, 30%, and 40%. Now, the formula is simple that you know now. Okay, here we have to solve the problem under three different circumstances. So for the payout ratio of 25%, for the payout ratio of 30%, and for the payout ratio of 40%. For all individual cases, we have to calculate the market price of the shares. Okay, now first we'll consider when there is 25% payout ratio. EPS is same for all these three cases, and rate of return will also remain same for all the three cases, and cost of equity will also remain same for all these three cases. So the basic assumption of Gordon's model is this only. There is a constant rate of return, there is constant rate of cost of equity, and there is no dividend. Oh, sorry, there is no tax on dividend and capital gains. So these are all the basic assumptions of Gordon's model. And on that assumption, now we are going to discuss this solution. Okay, first, when there is 25% dividend payout ratio. Now, when there is 25% dividend payout ratio, 75% would be the retention ratio. So what are all the necessary things we must know here is E. E is nothing but EPS. Okay, it is given here, rupees 25 is the earning per share. Then what else we know? We must know the dividend payout ratio. So it is given in the problem 25%. Fine, we know now. Then cost of equity we must know. So cost of equity is given 14%. Fine. Then what else we know? We must know B. B is nothing but the retention ratio. So when there is 25% payout ratio, 75% would be the retention ratio. So here 0.75 we have considered for retention. The next R is nothing but return on investment. So it is given in the problem 15%. So 0.15. So all the necessary information we have now, if we do calculation, we'll be getting rupees 227.27 as market price. Now the second circumstance, when there is a 30% dividend payout ratio. Okay, here other things remain same. Okay, there is no changes in cost of capital, there is no changes in return on investment, there is no changes in EPS, but only changes we have to incorporate is in the case of dividend retention and dividend payout. When the dividend payout ratio is 30%, the retention ratio is 70%. That means 30%, suppose if you are giving out as a dividend, 70% that you are going to save with yourself. Okay, so this is the meaning of this. Now 30% means 0.30 and retention for 70% means 0.70. So the other things remain same, and if we do calculations, we will be getting rupees 214.29. Now you can observe the increase in dividend payout ratio led to decrease in market price of the shares. Now next, third situation where dividend payout ratio is 40%. That means whenever the dividend payout ratio is 40%, you are going to save 60%. That means 60% would be the retention ratio. So similarly for the third one, when there is 40% dividend payout ratio, 60% would be the retention ratio, and other things will remain same. And if we do calculation, we'll be getting rupees 200 as the market price. Now it is again clear that whenever there is increase in dividend payout ratio, the market price will go on decrease. Now let us consider another problem for the discussion. A company has a total investments of rupees 5 lakh in assets and 50,000 ordinary shares of rupees 10 per share par value. It earns at the rate of 15% on its investments and has a policy of retaining 50% of the earnings. If the appropriate discount rate is at 10%, determine the price of its shares by using Gordon's model. What shall happen to the price of the shares if the company has to pay out ratio of 80% or 20%? Okay, now here they have given some indirect information. Okay, indirect information they have given. They straight away they have not given any EPS, earning per share. They have not given straight away. That we have to calculate. Now the total investment they have given, so that is 5 lakh rupees. They have also given the rate of return on investment. See here, you can observe the total investment of rupees 5 lakh. Of course, so it is on assets and ordinary shares. Okay, so whatever it may be. but they have investment of rupees 5 lakh, and the earning rate on these investment is 15%. So that we have to calculate. So total earnings would be total investment into return on investment. So 5 lakh into 15% means we'll be getting 75,000. Number of shares, we know here 50,000 ordinary shares. So in order to calculate EPS, earning per share, total earnings divided by total number of equity shares, 75,000 divided by 50,000. If we do this, we will be getting rupees 1.50 or 1 rupee 50 paisa would be the EPS, earning per share. Okay, return on investment, we have cost of capital, we have, okay, that is 10%. Cost of capital, we have 10%. Okay, return on investment, we have 15%. Retaining, see here 50% is the retention ratio. That means payout ratio would be 50%. So initial first case 50% payout ratio, second case 80% payout ratio, and third case 20% payout ratio here. Okay, under three situations we have to solve this problem. Find all the necessary information we have now. E, that is earning per share, we have calculated rupees 1.50 here. Okay, so 0.5, so this is the payout ratio. Here you can find, okay, it earns a rate of 15% on its investment and has a policy of retaining 50% of the earning. That means 50% is the payout ratio. So when the 50% is the payout ratio, 50% would be the retention ratio. Cost of equity, so that is given here, appropriate discount rate. If the appropriate discount rate is 10%, it is nothing but the cost of equity. Then 0.15 here, it is nothing but the return on investment, 15%. Okay, if we do the calculation, we'll be getting rupees 30 as market price of share. The next, the second circumstance, when the dividend payout ratio is 20%. Here you can observe, okay, they have given. Under three circumstances, we have to solve this problem. One is 50%, one is 20%, and another one is 80%. Fine. Now, when the 20% is the retention ratio. So when the 20% is the retention ratio, 80% would be the payout ratio. So everything will remain same except the payout ratio and retention ratio. Kindly here incorporate changes. Okay. So this is right. This is right. 0.2 right. But here instead of 0.2, it must be 0.8. Okay, 0.8. Kindly make some correction and incorporate all the changes. Okay, I think this figure will also change. Okay, do calculation. This figure will also change. Some higher value you are going to get. Here you'll get more than 30. Okay, just incorporate changes. Now again, for the third situation, when there is 80% retention ratio. So when there is 80% retention ratio, the dividend payout ratio must be 20%. Okay. So this is 80%. Now here this must be 0.2. Okay, 0.2. Here again the value figure will changes. Kindly incorporate changes. So 80% retention ratio. So this is right. But here instead of 0.2, so that is the dividend payout ratio, they have considered 0.8. Again, the problem here. So they have made mistake. Kindly incorporate. Now in this case of this solution also, so this is 80% payout ratio. Instead of 0.2, they must take 0.8. Okay. 0.8. and on the denominator it was properly recorded. Okay, this one is right. So here they must take 0.8. So this is the 80% payout ratio. Here 0.2. Okay, instead of 8, 0.2. So both the figures will change. Kindly do calculations. Okay, so this is about the explanation on solution. Now let us consider another problem. I think we'll solve problems in the next class. For today's class, it is sufficient. We'll see some other problems under Gordon's model, and we are also about to start uh, dividend irrelevance models of Modigliani and Miller in the next session. We'll see the rest of the problems under Gordon's model and the Modigliani Miller model in the next session. Thank you.